This could be the biggest breakthrough in all recent medical history. A hack so powerful it can stop any cold sore outbreak before they even begin and kill the herpes virus in a matter of weeks. It has been blatantly ignored by all medical journals. The mainstream media refuses to acknowledge its existence. Your own doctor will decline to say a word about it. And yet, once it gets the spotlight, it will send shockwaves through the multi-billion-dollar herpes treatment industry and turn their profits into nothing more than dust. So if you're here, turn up your speakers, pay full attention, and start taking notes, because you're moments away from the most important discovery of your entire life. Hi, my name is Dr. Adrian Cavanaugh. If you or one of your loved ones suffers from herpes, otherwise known as HSV-1 and HSV-2, then pay close attention, because in less than 3 minutes from now, I'll show you a scientifically proven method that can stop any cold sore outbreak dead in its tracks and put the herpes simplex virus to sleep in just a few short weeks, without having to use any dangerous antivirals or other expensive medications, and without paying another visit to your doctor. You see, the only reason why doctors think herpes outbreaks are so normal is because they are so common. But while they may be common, they are definitely not normal. And soon you'll discover, despite what you were led to believe, the real reason why you haven't been able to completely kill the herpes virus has absolutely nothing to do with your genes or your immune system. Instead, as groundbreaking research proves it, it's directly linked to a little-known and yet highly dangerous process happening inside your brain right now. And once you discover what this process really is, you'll be able to stop it, repair any damage it has done to your body, and completely eliminate the herpes virus from your system, no matter if you're female or male, if you're 20 or 80 years old, and no matter if you've been suffering from herpes for a day or for your entire life, and no matter your current medical condition. So let me ask you this. Do you know why cold sore outbreaks occur in the most inconvenient times, even when your immune system is holding strong, or even when you eat only the foods the doctors recommend to you? It's somehow like herpes has a mind of its own. The answer may come surprising, but we'll unveil the real reason why it's been less than 6 months since your last outbreak, and will ultimately give you the key to kill the herpes virus in just a matter of weeks. So get ready to stop feeling exposed and terrified by another humiliating outbreak, to never have to live in constant fear what will happen when your partner finds out that you're damaged goods and can't be intimate with him, to never have to face the contemptuous look people give you as they see that crusty red spot in the corner of your mouth, to be free from all frustration and insecurities that have been following you since the moment you had your first outbreak, and to finally regain that sparkling glow of yours, just like you've always deserved it from the moment you were born. Now, you may be feeling skeptical about this now. I understand. After all, you've heard countless different stories over the years, and you were led to think that the only way to stop herpes outbreaks is with dangerous antivirals and expensive medications. Your doctor was always happy to write you that prescription, with all the best intentions at heart, even when you came back for more just a couple of months later. Because for a reason blatantly ignored by modern medicine, the virus always came back. But this changes today, and no matter where you are, and whether you suffer from HSV-1, HSV-2, or both, you owe it to yourself to watch every minute of this presentation, because I guarantee it will change your life. So please, pay attention, because we are running out of time. The oral and genital herpes treatment industry is worth $4.8 billion in the US alone. These people are perfectly happy to shatter your mental health just to keep you their customer for life. So if you had enough with the shame, frustration, and humiliation of getting hit by yet another cold sore outbreak, if you are tired of having undying itching and excruciating pain, if you want to stop worrying that every time you get close to someone, they'll find out your dirty little secret, and if you are sick of having to deal with the constant judgment of those around you, then continue to watch this unveiling report, because you're about to discover a scientifically proven way to completely kill the herpes virus in just a few short weeks, without any dangerous antivirals, expensive medications, and without paying a single visit to your doctor. Because as amazing as this sounds, in 2020, having to deal with another herpes outbreak is completely optional. Now, of course, I don't want you to simply take my word for it. Listen to some of the success stories that I receive in my inbox every day from 93,000 women and men from all over the world who have successfully used this program and broke free from herpes.
I was devastated. This thing just kept getting crazier. I felt so out of control. I'll admit, when I heard about your program, I was skeptical at first. But I am thankful I tried it. It's been 2 years and I haven't had any outbreaks since then.
When I first found out that I'm HSV-2 positive, my world came crashing down. Not only did the guy that I caught it off ditch me, but he actually told all my friends that he got it from me. I found myself lying alone on my bed, depressed and crying at the thought of never being in a relationship or having children. I knew I could never tell a guy I liked about my herpes. After all, I knew that if it had been the other way around, I most probably would have run a mile. A good friend of mine told me that she'd been in the same situation and she recommended your program to me. It's amazing how this thing works. I recently got married with the love of my life. My husband and I thank you deeply.
Your formula is amazing. I was diagnosed with HSV-1 about a few months ago and was absolutely shocked, wondering how could this happen to me? I was desperate trying to find something, anything that could save me from what I thought would be a life of humiliation. I found your formula by accident, and ever since, my life has completely changed. No more outbreaks, no more cold sores, no more embarrassing dates. I don't think I will ever be able to thank you enough.
Success stories like these don't even surprise me anymore. Every day my phone gets flooded with phone calls, texts, emails, WhatsApp messages, and they all say the same thing, that this program is guaranteed to work for any woman or man out there. Okay, let's not waste any more time. It's time you broke free from the herpes nightmare. Like I said, my name is Dr. Adrian Kavanaugh. Up until 4 years ago, I worked for one of the largest pharmaceutical companies with an annual revenue of over $1 billion. For the past 2 decades, my team and I have been researching ways to increase the effectiveness of antiviral medication against the herpes simplex virus. I decided to quit and start my private research lab when I uncovered their evil and shameless practices. They had zero interest in finding a solution. Instead, all they wanted was to keep people hoping for a solution while being effectively addicted to their expensive medications so that they could keep their investors happy and profitable. And I should have known better. You see, early in my career, I was part of an elite team of physicians who worked on a drug which was later on released to the world as acyclovir and is now considered one of the most common treatments against herpes. And yet, as it happened back then, even today, with all the major advances in science and technology, they are not interested in finding something that can completely rid you from the debilitating nightmare of herpes. In my over 20 years of medical experience, I'm specializing in helping American men and women fight the herpes virus and its nightmarish effects. Even so, throughout my entire scientific career, I only had one dream: to research and develop the ultimate clinically proven solution that would put the herpes simplex virus to sleep. But before I go on, you should know that 99% of the doctors consider herpes normal. And to some point, they are right. 1 in 2 Americans deal with HSV-1, or otherwise known as oral herpes. 1 in 8 Americans are infected with HSV-2, or genital herpes. Now, this may seem commonplace, as all doctors you'll go to will tell you, but there is no way it is normal, as you'll see in just a couple minutes. Now, if you have herpes, you know just how vicious this virus can be. It can creep up on you literally anytime out of the blue, leaving you without a clue about what's going on until it's already too late. You live in constant fear that another outbreak may turn all your plans upside down and turn you from the amazing, active person you are into a walking cold sore, bitter and distant, ashamed to even go out of the house. And it all starts with an itch, an undying itch that tortures you every second of the day and night. One of those you do anything to stop, but then the cold sores start showing, and the itch slowly turns into pain. You can barely eat, walk, sleep, and then you decide to pay the doctor a visit. So you go there hoping he will give you a cream or a pill that will make the annoying sores go away. You feel cursed, and for good reason. Herpes has ruined many lives, bringing people to the brink of a breakdown over and over again. And yet, no one seems to care about finding a real solution for it. There are 42 million people with herpes in the US alone, and yet no one is doing anything for them. No major breakthrough treatments, no cutting-edge research. People have gotten so used to the fact that herpes is supposedly incurable that even doctors and scientists simply accept the same old pills and creams on the market as treatment. And yet, I'm sure you've already checked everything on the list. Acyclovir, and valacyclovir, both of which stopped working after a while. So your doctor kept increasing the dose, even with the risk of your body becoming completely immune to them. The cold creams that are supposed to relieve the itching, even though they only last for a few minutes, or the Novocaine solution that numbs the painful area for a while, but when the effect wears off, the pain pierces through your skin even stronger than before. Now, if any of this rings true for you, you should know one thing. It's not your fault. It really isn't. I've been using these remedies for herpes outbreaks my entire life. First, I used them on me. Then I started helping others treat their cold sores too. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and all the people who came to me for help are familiar with acyclovir and valacyclovir. It's not like people haven't heard of them before, but all it took was one day to change everything I thought was real about herpes. So stick with me for a couple more minutes, because I'll unveil the story of how I accidentally stumbled across what could be considered the most important scientific discovery of modern medicine, the true key solution that any man or woman can use to kill the herpes virus. You see, up to this day, I've had hundreds of women and men too, who have walked through my door. So I can honestly tell you that I've seen it all. People so desperate they would give their entire life savings only to live a life where they don't have to put dealing with herpes on their daily to-do list. People who felt cursed and so ashamed they wouldn't step out of their house for months. People who don't deserve one iota of what was happening to them. And yet, here they were, in my office, crying and begging for help. Seeing so many heartbreaking stories, I must admit, I felt sorry for each and every one of them. And yet I knew that dealing with herpes was and still is perhaps one of the most difficult things in the world. I always thought this was the way things work. The only solution we had was to treat the cold sores every time they appeared. After all, if scientists had found a better solution by now, we would know about it already, right? Well, I couldn't be more wrong, because one day, this girl walked through my door and turned my life around. Her name was Sarah Young. When I saw her, my heart almost stopped. At first, I thought she'd had some sort of accident, because her entire mouth and half of her face was covered in cold sores. It was terrifying, and I can only imagine how she felt. She was desperate, and I didn't blame her. This was hands down the worst case of HSV-1 I'd ever seen. She looked at me with her eyes bursting into tears and said, "Sadly, this is not even half of the story." She started telling me how her last boyfriend left her, and when he found out she had herpes, and how every time she had a date, another outbreak would pop up unexpectedly. Somehow, I even got HSV too, though I swear I haven't seen anyone for the past year. I don't know what to do. Please help me. I've tried everything, she told me. I felt sorry for her, and yet I knew this wasn't going to go away by magic. I knew herpes was a hard nut to crack. It had taken me 2 decades to understand this virus and its behavior, and I must say, it's truly one of the trickiest I've ever seen. You see, the way herpes works is to attack and hide, which is so clever it will send shivers down your spine if you think about it. The moment it infects your body, your immune system instantly detects it as dangerous and starts fighting it. It's the same normal reaction that happens even when you get a cold. Your body knows there's a threat, so it tries to purge it out of your system. But herpes is extremely sneaky. Once it gets into your bloodstream, it uses a protein called ICP47 to shield itself and becomes invisible to your immune system. It wraps itself in this protein like the proverbial wolf in sheep's clothing, so your immune system has no clue it's even there. This virus can sleep disguised that way for months or even years, and then all of a sudden, it attacks. And the worst part is, even if your immune system is super strong, it still can't detect herpes because it's cloaked in this protein called ICP47. In order to put the virus back to sleep, you have to find it first, which has been impossible so far. Or that's what I thought. Now imagine me trying to explain that to the poor girl covered in cold sores, that she'll never be able to get rid of herpes. It was painful just to look at her, and I couldn't understand what made the herpes virus act out so badly in her case, like I'd never seen before. I stayed late that night, long after she left, thinking about her situation, and about other people that came to me for help over the years. It kept haunting me. Why do some people heal faster, and yet others take weeks to recover? Why do some of them come back after a month, almost never need another visit? And more important, if science claims there is no available solution for this terrible disease, why have some of my patients been outbreak-free for over a decade? What makes them so different from any other person out there? It just didn't make any sense. There had to be something that would expose the virus for the immune system to kill it. I just wasn't able to see it. But life works in mysterious ways, because the next morning, I received a call that was going to change everything I thought was real about herpes. The call came from a doctor named Dr. Peterson, one of my respected colleagues and a very old friend. We worked together for over a decade at our former pharma employer, where we researched the antiviral medicine which was later released as acyclovir. Just like me, Dr. Peterson had been in the medical field for over 20 years. He dealt with thousands of extreme cases of both HSV-1 and HSV-2. His work, in every sense of the word, was impeccable. He was a published author and was constantly interviewed on national television. He was also an extremely charismatic and empathetic person. Even though we haven't spoken for nearly 10 years, I was truly glad to see him again. He wanted to know if he could help me with my new project. But as we started talking, I couldn't help notice that wedding ring on his finger. You see, besides being a very good physician, Dr. Peterson had an embarrassing story to tell. He got infected with herpes early in his young years. It was the reason why he became a doctor in the first place. He'd hoped he'd find a solution against the disease that was ruining his life. When we first met, even though he was one of the most fun people to be around, he found it very difficult to be with someone, let alone be intimate with that person. Now, when he started telling me about his amazing wife and their 2 wonderful kids, I was truly intrigued. I mean, on one hand, I was extremely happy to hear about him. On the other hand, I wanted to know exactly how he managed to overcome his herpes problem. Now pay attention, because here's where things get very interesting. I've been herpes-free for over 9 years, my old friend, Dr. Peterson said to me. I have a wife now and 2 kids, with 1 more on the way, and lab tests show absolutely no trace of herpes in my blood. And let me tell you, it did not happen by accident. And that's when Dr. Peterson said something that had me do mental flips. Adrian, we were 99% right about herpes. We just missed the 1%, and it was staring us in our faces. The reason why no one was able to figure out how to kill the virus is because they were looking in the wrong direction. The place where herpes starts is not inside your body's cells. Well, it's still inside your cells, but these are kind of special cells that you can't function without. You see, it all starts inside your brain cells. Herpes and the way herpes is able to survive for so long undetected is found nowhere else but your brain cells, Adrian, Dr. Peterson said to me. Okay, this was interesting. But some of us did look inside the brain to find a fix. When we were researching acyclovir, remember? I said to Dr. Peterson. Sure, I know a couple colleagues were looking into that area. But do you remember what happened to them afterwards? Dr. Peterson replied. It all came back to me. Not even a week after our colleagues announced they were onto something, a couple of suited guys came to our lab and cleaned out their offices. I had never seen them afterwards. Now, what Dr. Peterson was telling me was both scary and exciting. But could this be? I mean, this kind of conspiracy you usually see in movies. But then I said to myself, I was standing right there in front of my oldest friend, questioning his findings, when I had quit Big Pharma because they were doing the exact same thing to my work. Now, in Dr. Peterson's words, here's how herpes is able to survive every existing antiviral drug and shields itself from being killed by your immune system. I already told you that the way herpes works is to attack and hide. It attacks your body and then shields itself inside your cells with the help of this ICP47 protein. Now, herpes is smart enough to know it can only survive as long as the cells survive with it. So it goes directly to your brain cells, your neurons, and glues itself to them. Because it knows that brain cells are basically the survivors of your body. They have a really long survival rate compared to the other cells in your body. But there is one more thing that happens. An extremely dangerous process inside your brain. You see, the neurons in your brain are the cells that send signals through your entire body with the help of neurotransmitters. So herpes knows this, and instead of just taking over your regular cells, it goes directly to the place where it can get full control over your entire system, your body's command center, the brain. And it makes perfect sense. When you hijack the receiver, you can send any message you want. What this means is that scientists have been trying to fight a ghost with a water gun all this time, and they weren't even looking for the ghost in the right place to begin with. So as soon as herpes virus detects it's under attack, it opens a backdoor channel to activate the ICP47 protein, cloaking itself from your immune system. Now, the worst part is that 90% of us live with the herpes virus inside our brain cells, so the virus could hit anyone at any time without warning, even those who think they aren't currently infected with herpes. And this explains why you get hit by outbreaks at the most unexpected times. It's almost like herpes has a mind of its own. Yes, it's your mind. It literally takes over your brain and shields itself from any antiviral drug you may use against it. And whenever it senses your immune system is weak, it replicates itself and attacks again. Now, this was actually confirmed by the scientists at University of North Carolina almost 12 years ago, and Dr. Peterson showed me this in his notes. In fact, since then, many other peer-reviewed studies have proven the same thing, backing up that first study, that the key to kill herpes is found inside your brain, but nobody pays attention to those studies. And yet, antiviral pharmaceutical sales are holding high and strong every year. Looking over Dr. Peterson's notes, it blew my mind. We finally knew where to start to be able to fight this virus. So if we could find a way to cleanse the nerve cells and flush herpes out of the brain, the body would have a fighting chance against the virus. Herpes would be exposed, and the immune system would know where to find and kill it. Now that we know what part of the body we have to target, we have a fighting chance, I said to Dr. Peterson. Look at me, Adrian. I've been herpes-free for almost a decade. Lab tests show no trace of HSV1 or HSV2 in my blood. I did find the way, he replied with a big smile on his face. I was intrigued, and then Dr. Peterson explained it to me. To destroy herpes from your brain and prevent it from hijacking your neurons again, you have to safely introduce certain chemicals into your bloodstream. Once your brain is herpes-free, the virus won't be able to tell the other cells to hide under the ICP47 protein, and it will be exposed. And then your body will have the power to fight and kill herpes. It's like they say, if the mind heals, the body will follow. And then Dr. Peterson showed how after 4 long years of research and countless lab tests, he finally managed to find the right combination of natural ingredients that helped him break free from the herpes nightmare and completely kill the virus. Have you tried to make this solution public? I asked him. Of course I did. I went to my former employer, showed them the lab results, all my years of research, and after what I think was the longest presentation I ever had, you know what they asked me? They said, all right, but how do we make money off of this if people only have to use it once? The next day, I submitted my resignation, and I have lived every day since thinking there is no way I could show this to the public. They won't allow it until I heard the news that you quit Big Pharma too. You inspired me, Adrian. Turn the page and see it for yourself. There it was, on the next page of his research book. All the ingredients and specific quantities he used to fight and kill this insidious virus. It took him 4 years and hundreds of different combinations to reach the exact formula that stops herpes dead in its tracks. It was incredible. We had to put this to a test immediately, I said to Dr. Peterson. Why do you think I came to you? He said. Now, I knew just the right person to help us test this formula, Sarah Young, the sweet girl that came to my office with her face half covered in sores. When I called her, she was extremely happy to be part of the experiment, as she was actually in the middle of a severe outbreak episode. So Dr. Peterson and I gave her the formula and instructed her to follow the program according to our lab test results. She said that usually for her, a severe outbreak episode lasts for at least 2.5 weeks. Now, I could see the anxiety in her eyes. She tried so many things and nothing worked. She called me every single morning for the first few days just to let me know that she keeps following the program and to ask me what's next. Every time, I would tell her to wait, as it will take a while. Yet, the next morning, she would call me again. On the 4th day, she wanted to give up, said that the cold sores had only gotten worse, and thanked me for thinking of her, and she should just accept her life like it is. I struggled to try and convince her to continue for just a little longer. Now, over the next week, I haven't heard from her, and I didn't know if she'd quit the program or just wanted some time alone. It was kind of sad, to be honest. I tried to call her, but she wouldn't pick up the phone. The future looked bleak. Then, one cold morning, I remember it to this day, I heard a knock on my door, and there she was, Sarah, standing at my door with tears flowing down her cheeks. Oh my God, what have you done to yourself? I asked her, looking at her face. It's you, Dr. Kavanaugh. It's this formula. It works, she yelled, full of joy. Now let me tell you, her face was absolutely glowing. It was without a doubt the most incredible transformation I have ever seen in my life. She hugged me like a kid who just got her favorite toy for Christmas. As I continued to stare at her face, I called Dr. Peterson to give him the good news. Then we had Sarah give blood samples to see if there were any traces of the herpes virus inside her system. The result? 0 trace of either HSV1 or HSV2. Sarah had finally broken free from the herpes prison. Her stress and anxiety were gone. Her zest for life was finally back, and she never had to worry again about anything like this frustrating virus ruining her plans. Even now, she still calls me every couple of months to thank me and Dr. Peterson for what this formula has done to her. We thank you, Sarah, for giving this formula a try and being the pioneer of what's now the biggest medical breakthrough in the herpes industry. As I was on the phone with Dr. Peterson, telling him how happy I was that our research had finally paid off, he warned me. The formula worked on Sarah and on him, but would it work on everyone? We needed more people to test this on before we could validate its success. So that night we went online and posted an ad stating that we were looking for volunteers, from people with mild herpes cases to people who suffered from both HSV1 and HSV2, but we were really looking for one common denominator. Herpes was ruining every aspect of their lives. In a week, we had more than 50 volunteers ready to confirm our theory. Now, to be honest with you, I expected this formula to work, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. Within just a few short weeks, 98% of every one of the participants showed 0 trace of the herpes virus in their system, neither HSV1 or HSV2, even in the people who had been afflicted with both. They also reported a significant increase in their energy levels. Their overall mood lifted. They were now stress and anxiety free. And as an unexpected side benefit, They all saw a boost in memory and focus. Within 2 months, 100% of all participants were herpes-free. Lab blood tests showed absolutely no trace of herpes in their system. The women were absolutely glowing, radiant, and I just couldn't help to notice the big smile on everyone's faces. The men were more confident than ever, knowing they can finally go out and get the sexy girl of their dreams without worrying about something popping up on their face. Each one of these participants was herpes-free in just a few weeks. Even the most skeptical ones, to their utter shock, got rid of this terrible virus. It was clear as daylight that this formula was working. Dr. Peterson and I were witnessing our lifelong dreams come true. All the suffering from herpes had to end, and we had to make this available for everyone. So Dr. Peterson managed to pull some strings, and we found a small, independent natural pharmaceutical company in Colorado. And we started looking for suppliers which only offered the purest ingredients for our formula. I'll tell you, it wasn't easy. It took us weeks until we found those reliable sources. You'd be shocked if you'd know how ignorant most of these people are when it comes to the quality and purity of the raw materials they produce. We looked for ingredients on 3 continents. Dr. Peterson used all his connections to make sure we only got top quality ingredients from certified FDA-approved suppliers. The job was excruciating. We worked day and night to make sure that each ingredient would be right and that the overall mixture would have the right quantities of each. But after over a month of hard work, we finally did it. We created a clinically proven natural formula that targets the root cause of herpes outbreaks and allows your body's immune system to destroy the herpes virus dead in its tracks. We called it Herpesyl, the only 100% natural blend that targets the real cause of your outbreaks and weakens and destroys the herpes virus. We only sourced the purest, highest quality ingredients, the perfect combination of 26 carefully mixed plant extracts and vitamins into an easy-to-swallow capsule you only have to take once a day. Now, you should know that we only produce Herpesyl in our FDA-approved facility using the latest technology and equipment. Every capsule of Herpesyl is non-GMO and safe, and this protocol is very easy to follow and is also diabetic friendly. It does not require any restrictive diets or starving yourself. In fact, you can continue eating your favorite foods while enjoying the amazing benefits of this formula. Over a dozen independent labs across 2 continents have tested this program on 3,200 people, women and men, from 6 countries to make sure it works. Lab tests have shown us that in order for this program to be efficient, all the ingredients have to be of the highest quality and mixed only in these exact quantities in this exact formula. And what we achieved is what most experts call a medical breakthrough. Here's a short explanation on how these ingredients work and why they are so powerful. Step 1. Your body absorbs these powerful nutrients. As soon as you've taken your first capsule of Herpesyl, the nutrient absorption process begins. We combine 26 powerful vitamins and ingredients chosen from selected locations such as Africa, Asia, North Europe, and even the Brazilian Amazon. All these amazing nutrients are essential for doing 2 things: flush out this virus from your brain and strengthen your immune system to be able to fight the herpes virus out of your system. And second, to destroy every last trace of herpes from your body. Since they are 100% natural and have been selected due to their purity, your body will immediately start absorbing them, and the herpes cleanse process will begin. Step 2. Your brain gets nourished and starts fighting the herpes virus. Once your brain has absorbed all these powerful nutrients, the healing process of your body will begin. This is extremely important. In order for your brain to have the power to destroy herpes out of your body, the neuronal path needs to stay strong and your immune system high. To achieve this, we selected a very precise combination of vitamin C, vitamin E, and selenium. This powerful formula will strengthen the nerve cells so that your brain can start sending herpes cleanse signals through your entire body. Step 3. Herpes is cleansed out of your body. Now pay attention, because from this point on, incredible things start to happen. First, to help you completely destroy the herpes virus from your body, we had to carefully select a proprietary blend of 26 ingredients, including graviola leaf, also known as the wonder herb, extremely rich in antibiotics. It's one of our star ingredients and is not only able to boost your immune system, but also tonifies your brain and helps cleanse the brain cells. It's also useful to fight bacteria and parasites. 2 independent lab studies proved graviola to be effective against herpes and even have antiviral effects against the herpes simplex 2 virus. So it not only goes directly to the root cause of herpes, but also fights it off from your entire body. The next one we added is shiitake, a powerful mushroom which nourishes your brain cells and strengthens your immune system. A recent research from a team of scientists in Singapore on 663 adults over the age of 60 and recently featured at BBC News confirmed this particular mushroom helps prevent cognitive decline, along with other amazing benefits. The next on the list is burdock, an amazing root, extremely high on nutrients that nourishes your brain, boosts your immune system, and also has anti-inflammatory properties, as well as helping your body and brain fight against the herpes virus. But we didn't stop there. We added red raspberry, turmeric, grapeseed, quercetin seeds, pomegranate, and a total of 26 incredible ingredients, mixed perfectly to nourish your brain and help you fight off the herpes virus that's hiding within your body. No other blend that we are aware of can match the effectiveness of this herpes cleanse solution. And in just a few weeks, you'll be herpes-free. Your brain will be nourished, your energy levels will skyrocket, and you'll be happy knowing that you never have to deal with this terrible virus ever again. That's because this natural blend does one important thing. It keeps herpes out of your system. Now, you may have two questions at this point. How do I get my hands on Herpesyl? And in what quantities should I take this supplement? You see, it's difficult for me to answer the first question. That's because most of the ingredients used to make Herpesyl are extremely difficult to source, which makes our ability to keep high stocks on hand almost impossible. Every man and woman that has tested Herpesyl and put the herpes virus to sleep are asking us for more, for themselves and for their families and friends. This makes our stock run out in days every time we get a new shipment. And you should know that we produce Herpesyl in small batches only, which can take up to 3 months to deliver, which means that once we run out of stock, you'll have to wait another 3 months until you can get your hands on this formula. We have to do it that way because it's the only way that we can keep high quality on our ingredients, and that's essential so that we can be sure that Herpesyl will work for as many people as possible. Then, there's all the big pharma lawyers who angrily threaten they'll shut us down if we don't take this formula down immediately. But since you're here, your product is reserved. However, if you leave this page, there's just no way we can guarantee we'll still have a supply when you come back. Now, before I tell you in what quantities you should take this supplement, here's something very important you should know. In order to make this formula work for you, you have to take into consideration the number of outbreaks you've had over the course of the past 2 years, and how long they lasted each time. Based on a test we made with our partnering labs on over 5,400 women and men from 6 different countries, looking at the severity of the herpes simplex virus in their system, I must confess, the results were shockingly bad. So when it comes to how much of Herpesyl you should take, our safe response is, don't risk it. After seeing the result of over 93,000 women and men from all over the world, we recommend taking at least 3 bottles of Herpesyl over a period of 90 days. And if you want to be completely safe, then we recommend taking at least 6 bottles or more. This is guaranteed to naturally put the herpes virus to sleep once and for all. Tens of thousands of men and women have used Herpesyl with mind-blowing results. They now enjoy the new life that has been given to them. They live a happy, full life where they don't have to constantly worry about being intimate with the people they love. They are stress-free and anxiety-free, and their confidence levels are holding high and strong since herpes has finally completely vanished from their life. People like Gregory Ramp, a 48-year-old, who says, "This is a lifesaver. Literally, I thought my life was over when I found out I had HSV-2. I tried every treatment I could get my hands on, but none worked. I feel blessed that I got to try this solution. It's indeed the only one that gave me the results I wanted and even faster than I ever dreamed of." Lucy Norman, a 39-year-old, also sent me this message saying, "Thank you for helping out people with herpes. You're the only one who helped me with this vicious virus. I feel like I've started a whole new life, a life where I'm not ashamed of myself, where I can find a partner and have children. Thank you." And here's an email from Neil Hobbs, 38 years old, who says, "I was hoping this would work, but I expected it to fail. Everything else did. I started feeling better in just a few days. And now, 8 months after I finished the program, I am still outbreak free. I had an HSV-1 outbreak every month for 7 years. I was way past the point of a breakdown. I just wanted my life to end, so I don't have to go through this anymore. Now, it's like herpes never happened. No cold sores, not even a single itch for the last 8 months. And these are just a few of the tens of thousands of people who experienced the same incredible results ever since we made this formula public. Seeing all this, you understand why I initially wanted to sell this program for $297. But while I could have easily done that and have people overwhelm our servers, the truth is, I'm not here to make myself money. I've made myself a good amount of money during my 20 years of medical practice. I'm actually close to retiring, early. But there is just one last thing I want to do before that. I want to help you and millions of other men and women out there to break free from the shackles of the herpes simplex virus. That's why I'm not going to ask you for $297 or even $97 for the program that has helped over 93,000 men and women just like you. In fact, today, while this website is still up, you have a one-time chance to get the proven formula that puts the herpes virus to sleep in a matter of weeks for only $69 a bottle. Now, because I know how important it is to break free from the herpes nightmare, I've asked our manufacturing partner to give us permission to offer a discount on the 6-bottle package of Herpesyl. This means that you can get it for only $39 per bottle and also get free shipping from us for as long as the supply lasts. Plus, 2 additional bonuses worth a total $120, absolutely for free. Once we run out of stock, this discount will be gone forever. So select on the 3-bottle package or any other package you want, and join the 93,000 happy women and men who now enjoy the incredible benefits of being herpes-free for the first time in their lives. Tens of thousands of men and women are already living proof that Herpesyl will help you break free from herpes. 3 bottles of Herpesyl will both rid you from any herpes outbreaks, boost your energy levels, nourish your skin, strengthen your immune system, and significantly improve your memory. But there is a reason why 98% of our users choose the 6 bottles package. Once you go with the 6 bottles package, in just 6 months from now, you'll be able to completely shield yourself against this debilitating virus and remove any trace of it from your system, which means that Herpesyl will act like a natural defense system against herpes, even if you are somehow exposed to getting it again from another person. This will strengthen the neural connection between your brain and the rest of your body, shielding your body against both HSV1 and HSV2 for many years to come. Once you select the 3 or 6 month supply, you'll also get free access to digital guides that you won't find anywhere else, to help you bulletproof your body against herpes and speed up your recovery. We want to fully support your journey and make sure you have everything you need. This is why the 3-bottle package comes with the exclusive bonus, 20 DIY hacks to banish cold sores at home, especially created to help you keep outbreaks at bay and soothe cold sores fast and easy. You'll find immediate and easy-to-do hacks that work overnight, a collection of delicious meal recipes designed to boost immunity, digestion, focus, and sleep. Common fruits often overlooked, which in different combinations can transform your entire health. Less known rare herbs filled with nutrients that make your body resistant against all potential viral threats, reinforcing your natural defenses and stepping into a healthier, stronger future. Now, if you choose the 6-bottle package, you'll receive the bonus included with the 3-bottle option plus the digital guide, Thriving with Herpes, 10 Habits to Boost Sexual Power and Confidence. This is all about supporting your mental and emotional well-being, packed with useful tips to adopt a positive mindset naturally, and filled with habits and advice that have helped many of our customers achieve a fulfilling and affectionate life with their partners. If this sounds good for you, here's what you need to do next. Select the 6 or 3 bottles package by clicking the Add to Cart button below and fill in your shipping details on the other page. If this sounds good for you, here's what you need to do next. Select the 3-bottle package or any other package you want, hit the button below, and fill the form on the other page. Once you've secured your order, in 7 days from now, you'll get Herpesyl right at your doorstep in a 100% safe and discreet way. Now, this program is practically guaranteed to put the herpes virus to sleep, and that may seem a little shocking to you. I understand. After all, the big pharma giants have been sucking cash out of your pockets from the moment you first had your first outbreak. So let me change that now. We stand behind the power of this program. That's why when you select your package today, you're fully covered by our 60-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. Give Herpesyl a try and escape the life sentence herpes has put you on. See how incredible it feels to not have to worry about one more outbreak cropping up all of a sudden, and feel the joy of not having to isolate yourself from the ones you love. Experience all this. And in 60 days, if you're not satisfied with the joy Herpesyl brings to your life, send me or Dr. Peterson an email and we'll refund your entire investment right away. No questions asked, no hassle, no red tape. You have 2 full months to decide if Herpesyl is the right thing for you, but you need to hurry. Dr. Peterson and I have made a lot of enemies by posting this program online. Vicious herpes industry giants who woke up this morning and noticed their bank account balance was slimmer than yesterday. Snake oil drug manufacturers who don't know what to do with their remaining inventory of cheap knockoff products. Each one of them wants this site off the internet. So the next time my phone rings and some lawyer is there forcing me to take this program down or face an expensive lawsuit, you'll be on your own. But why would you give up on your one real chance you have to break free from herpes when you could join over 93,000 women and men in just a few weeks from now, when you have so little time to spend and so much to gain? Just imagine, no more all of the sudden outbreaks, no more painful cold sores, and no more masking a problem that no longer exists for you. Imagine not having to set your dates or business meetings around your outbreaks, or not having to deal with the constant judgment of those who look at you like you're some sort of pariah. Instead, imagine waking up in the morning, look in the mirror, and see a beautiful, happy face looking back at you. And it all starts when you select your package below and hit the buy button now. The decision you are about to make will decide the course of your life. You can decide to stop spending your money on the same old products on the market and wait for a miracle to happen, when you already know that even though they may alleviate symptoms for a while, they do not treat the root cause of your herpes outbreaks. Or you can take this small step now. Select your package, hit the button below, and get control over your life again. You have the power to change your life, and it's one click away. No more cold sores, no more excruciating pain, no more constant outbreaks right when things couldn't get more interesting in your personal life. You have the power to get your happiness back, and it costs close to nothing, even compared to the price you pay every time you visit your doctor, not to mention the damage it has on your social life and your mind and body. This formula works for both HSV1 and HSV2, even if you have them both. Plus, you're protected by our 60-day no questions asked money-back guarantee. So go ahead and select your package now, and you can start being the person that you've always wanted to be. It all starts now with a single click, and it takes less than a minute. Do it now and give Herpesyl a test try. Still here? No worries. I understand, especially given the amazing secrets that I've revealed in this presentation. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me answer some of the most important questions we receive about Herpesyl, so you can go ahead and hit the buy button below with full confidence. Will Herpesyl work for me? The short answer is yes. You see, the reason why Herpesyl is so effective is because of the way it works. Antiviral medications block the spread of herpes virus inside the body, but they can't actually put it to sleep. Once you stop taking them, the virus multiplies again, and you are caught in a vicious cycle which you cannot escape from without even more expensive and dangerous meds. Herpesyl, on the other hand, goes directly to the root cause of your problem in a unique and proprietary way, according to the work Dr. Peterson and I did. The reason why herpes has been undefeatable until now is that it hides inside your brain by taking over your neurons. It does this because, unlike other cells of your body, neurons don't die as fast, which means herpes can survive there for a very long time. It's only logical that a virus would look for a host that it can use to survive for a long time. Dr. Peterson and I have identified 26 powerful natural ingredients that together flush out the herpes virus from your brain and allow your body to completely destroy it. Which means that if you suffer from HSV1, HSV2, or even both, it is now 100% possible to destroy the herpes virus. Can I take Herpesyl if I have allergies or I'm currently taking other supplements? We created Herpesyl for all ages and medical conditions. The only side effect you'll see while using it will be the glow on your face when you look in the mirror every morning for the rest of your life. And know that you have finally broken free from herpes. Herpesyl does not require any restrictive diets or weird exercises, does not interfere with other supplements you may take, and it addresses the root cause of why the herpes simplex virus is able to survive inside your body. It does this in a gentle and natural way you won't even notice happening, while helping your brain command your body to destroy the herpes virus once and for all. You should also know that Herpesyl is produced using high-quality ingredients in an FDA-approved facility using the latest technology and equipment. This is why we can confidently say that Herpesyl is safe to use. Now, as always, if you suffer from allergies or other certain medical conditions at this very moment, we strongly advise that you consult with your doctor first. Who is this program for? Herpesyl was designed to work for both men and women who suffer from HSV1, HSV2, and even both simultaneously, and have been dealing with debilitating herpes outbreaks, and for people who just want the glow back on their face. It has 0 side effects, and it doesn't interfere with any medication or diet. How long does it take to see the results? The moment you begin taking Herpesyl is when the fight against herpes begins. And once your body assimilates all the nutrients it needs, you'll start seeing results in no time. Also, we always recommend that you maintain a healthy lifestyle while taking Herpesyl to enjoy its long-term benefits. How long will Herpesyl be available for? I'm not really sure. History has shown us that Big Pharma is not going to sit aside and watch as their margins turn to dust. They'll spend as much money as they need in legal fees to shut us down and shut down the site. This may be your last chance to get Herpesyl. The choice is up to you, of course, but I wouldn't wait until it's too late and the website is removed from the internet. Also, you should know that the only place you can get Herpesyl is right here on this page. Why do you say this is a risk-free program again? We are confident this formula will help you put the herpes virus to sleep. That's why every bottle of Herpesyl comes with a risk-free, no questions asked, 60-day money-back guarantee. Even if you're only 99% satisfied and you don't want Herpesyl anymore, send us an email and we'll refund every penny you invested. No questions asked, no hassle, no red tape. What happens if I select one of the packages below? Once you've selected one of the packages below and clicked the buy button, you'll be taken to our secured checkout page. There, you'll fill out the form to place your order. We'll then start preparing your package and ship it to your door in a safe and discreet manner. The entire process is very simple, and it takes less than a minute.